By the end of this massage, your partner is going to be completely asleep. If not absolutely relaxed, you will feel like you entered another dimension. We are doing a Thai style of massage today. I want you to do some nice sweeping strokes down the back to start. And we're just meeting at the sacral right here, and we are doing some rotations on the hip. This is going to be on either side of the bones here, and I really want you using your body weight. So I have my left knee propped up and I have my right knee bent, and I'm kind of shifting my weight between my two legs here, as you can see. I'm really using my body weight, and I'm actually shifting to this left side here, as you can see, and I'm using both of my palms to really press into the glutes and get a good kind of warm-up going. These initial rocking motions are really good for any kind of sciatic pain you're experiencing, and if this is tender at all, you can use less pressure. Just go with whatever your partner needs, whatever they're looking for. I want you to keep doing these slow presses all the way down each side of the glute here. When we do Thai massage like this, normally it is clothed because we're doing a lot of compression. Sometimes there's stretching involved, and you can either do it with or without clothes on, but I would recommend just keeping, some light pajamas on, some comfortable clothing, and just really relaxing during this session. Again, we're going in with these rocking motions, and I'm kind of going in circles too at this point. You can do a hand over hand technique, which will actually get you more pressure. If you feel like you can't get into the glutes deep enough, just place one hand down, place your other hand on top of it, and then rotate that way. If not, if you're good with the pressure that you have going right now, you can do that side-by-side technique where you're just using both of your hands to massage a larger amount of the area. These squeezes that we're doing all the way down the hips are essential for any kind of hip pain, sciatic pain, low back, it hits it all. And we're really focusing on pressing our hands together and squeezing those hips. It's just a phenomenal pressure relieving tactic. As you can see, I went in with a soft fist in the lower back. You want to make sure if you're doing a soft fist in the back that you're not pressing over the spine. And especially when we're crawling up the back like this, we're using our palms to get the most amount of pressure here. And I'm really leaning into this all the way up the back. You don't want to go too high up. If you get too close to her neck, you want to stop right about where I did at the shoulder blades. If you get too close to the neck, it can almost feel like you're choking her out, so it's not a good way to go. I'm shifting here and I'm moving to one side of the body. You can see how I'm rocking my body weight and really using it as leverage here to get a good back and forth motion. I did adjust so I could get a little bit more leverage, just bringing my knee up closer to that hip, and I'm actually doing a push-pull technique. So I'm really rocking in with my palms and I'm pulling with my fingertips. I'm really not digging in with the tips of my fingertips. I'm actually using the pads of my fingertips. And that is pretty essential because if you use the absolute tips of your fingertips, it's going to feel more like a poking motion than like a nice, gentle kind of pull. We're moving into some rocking motions where I'm pulling with one hand and I'm pushing with the other. That one feels phenomenal. It gets a good deep stretch in there. And then again, we're just going back to that rocking motion, that push-pull technique. You can do so many variations of this, and you can do it for as long as you like. You don't just have to stop at what I did. You can keep going if this feels good to your partner. You can absolutely do that with any of the techniques we do here. And I'm just bringing this up the whole back here. When I make my way up the back like this, I actually stop that rocking motion and I actually put one hand over the other for this hand over hand technique, and I really just press into the side of her back here. I'm really making sure I dig my palms in right next to the spine. I don't want to be over the spine at all, and I don't want to be pressing on the shoulder blades at all, but just right down the spine, really taking the muscle and pulling it away from the spine. This is going to help to relieve pressure. It's really just going to feel really good, and it's actually going to get us warmed up for some deeper work. We're actually going to take our thumb and kind of use that hand over hand technique, but with a relaxed thumb. So I'll explain how this works. Whichever side is more comfortable for you, you can put on the bottom. I like to use my right hand as the anchor on the bottom. So that means I'm taking my right thumb and placing it on her upper back, and I'm taking my left palm and covering that thumb, really getting my pressure from the palm of my hand, and I'm not pressing with any force using my thumb. I'm literally just using it as a tool to get deeper into her back here. You can do circular motions, you can go back and forth, but you really don't want that hard, like, knot feeling where you're just slamming it back and forth. It doesn't feel good. You want gentle pressure here. You can press and hold in certain spots if they're tender, and you can hold those anywhere from 10 to 30 seconds each, really just allowing those places to let go and to experience that relaxation and that release. You can cover the entire upper back with this one technique. I really like to make sure I'm getting all of the shoulder area, so working in between the shoulder blades, all the way from the top to the bottom, and just moving in those different techniques you see here. I like to hook my fingers into her shoulder, again using the palms of my fingers, or like the pads of my fingers and not the tips. Really just pressing in and pulling back with my body weight. You can see how I'm leaning and I'm kind of squeezing into her shoulder, but when I did pull back, I'm using my whole body weight to really get that pressure that I'm looking for. Again, I'm just going in with some gentle movements, kind of like relaxing the whole area. That was a transition move that you just saw there where I'm squeezing the entire back. That was me transitioning from the upper back into the lower back. We're using that same technique that we did earlier, but this time we're using our thumbs. You can either do them side by side like you see here, or you can do that thumb with the palm over it like we showed you earlier. But you really want to make sure that you are doing that same technique as before. So we're really pushing the muscle away from the spine, making sure not to hit the spine at all. And we're using a good amount of pressure here so it relieves a lot of tension but also gets deeper into the tissue. This is how we work slowly into working deep tissue. Sometimes people go right in and they start working deep, but this way is so easy to really get into those deep layers with minimal effort. We're going to work our way down here all the way back to the hips. You really want to make sure you're doing that transitioning piece again so everything feels seamless, it feels natural, and it feels like you are a professional. That's how we get our professional feel, is these transition moves. Nothing feels choppy. You want to make sure everything is flawless. As you can see here, I'm actually shifting sides. So I want to make sure that my left knee is bent, my right knee is up in the air, and my foot is right about like hip height. If you need to move this at all, if it doesn't feel comfortable for you, that's totally fine. I just did a simple walk up the back here to kind of prep for my next phase of this massage, which is working this right side. Now this is super simple. We are just doing the same palm over palm technique we were doing before. We are basically repeating this entire sequence on the other side. If you have a massage table or something along the lines of that at home where you don't have to be over the body, you can totally do these techniques on a table like that as well. I just prefer to use my body weight like this. It's the traditional style of Thai massage, just using your entire body weight this way and really using your different limbs to work through this motion. So you'll see a little bit later, we're actually going to be using your knees, and you'll see this in the next coming months, how you can use different parts of your body to massage your partner's body. And I'm very passionate about it. It's very cool. So we're doing that same rocking technique we did on the other side. Really want you to make sure that you're pulling that hip, and you can see here a better kind of view on how my body's rocking to really get this to be relaxing but really have a good flow to it. And we're just moving back and forth, and then again, the higher we get on this back, we are going and moving straight into just pressing down on the back. You can see how I shifted my foot forward on that right side because I didn't feel like I had enough leverage as I got up higher on her back. I just felt like I didn't have the pressure that I needed. If you feel like you need more pressure, move up higher towards the back. That way you'll have less distance between you and their body, and it'll give you more pressure and a bit of leverage in that way. Since we've learned this entire side, I'm going to let you go ahead and watch and follow along, and we'll pick up at our next transition move when we move into the glutes and our next big stretch we're going to do. Okay, we're going to transition into some sacral rocking here, just a few gentle circles. You can go either clockwise or counterclockwise. You can actually do both if you'd like to do that. And we are just starting to go up the back here with a soft fist. A soft fist means we are not clenching our fists. We are just gently closing our fingers and rocking our hands up the back there. I'm going to spread her legs apart so I can go in with my knees on her glutes. And I'm really pressing in just on the hips here. If this is too much pressure for your partner, just have them let you know. But I really just like to give a good amount of pressure on the glutes and on the hips. And I just grab her hands and really do a nice stretch here. It's kind of like a cobra stretch, but assisted. So she's not doing any of the work here. She's just allowing me to pull her up. This was her range of motion and as far as she could go. Some people might have more range of motion, some people might have less. It is completely up to the person and what their range of motion looks like for how far they will go. This feels incredible, and I'm really just taking my hands, keeping them, holding her hands, and starting to walk up her arms here. I showed you can either do both at the same time, kind of really pressing in, or you can kind of do this walking motion where I'm kind of going side to side, really using my body weight to kind of inch up her arms here, and I'm just rocking right into the shoulders, gripping and pulling back with my entire body weight. I'm going to do a nice massage down the back here just as a nice transition piece, and I'm going to pull my knees out of her glutes as I start to compress these sides of her hips. You can do this as many times in a row as you'd like. If you want to do this every night for your partner so they get really good rest, do that for them. But I really want you to start working your way down the hips like this, really squeezing into the hips and relieving that pressure in that way. I like to actually put my knees into their hamstrings as well. This can be a little bit too much for some people, but I think your partner will love it. If their hamstrings are not too tight, this will be okay for them. If they are too tight, walk your palms down their hamstrings first, just to warm it up a little bit before you put your knees into there. I want you to finish out with some gentle squeezes down the calves, really just making sure you touch every part of the body. You did absolutely amazing following along with this massage. We're actually going to finish out with a slight pull to the ankles. This is going to make the entire body relax and really elongate. It's going to make the spine feel like it's being relieved of any kind of pressure. And you can finish out with a once over kind of swoop over the legs just to relax and kind of let your partner know that this session has come to an end.